How incredibly generous of the United States government to just simply believe one of the most deceitful, provable liars in not just the past 2 years, but the past 40 years that he's been in public office. Anthony Fauci just simply said he handed over all the documents for his big tech censorship lawsuit. You're just supposed to believe him, okay? No FBI raid on him. I handed over all of my documents. I don't know what you continue to ask me questions for. Just shut your fucking mouth. He's an evil man, and nobody likes him. Dr. Anthony Fauci said September 14th that he and his staff members have handed over all responsive documents to a lawsuit alleging the United States government colluded with big tech to censor social media users. It's almost astounding how little coverage this story is getting. There was open dialogue, okay? The Biden administration was soliciting the responses from Meta, Google, and Twitter, okay? Listen, we want to censor some information about COVID and elections, and you need to do it. Otherwise, we'll shut you down. Don't worry about it. We got you on that one. That was the uniform response that these big tech companies were giving. All of the lawsuits have been filed, and nobody wants to fucking talk about it. It's amazing. It's amazing. I have handed over, and my staff have handed over every document that the Department of Justice asked for. And it's up to them to make it available, but I had held nothing back from anything that I was asked to provide. So it's funny, you take Fauci's word for it, but then you just go and kick down the door at Trump's house. Okay, cool, wonderful, fantastic. The Attorney Generals of Missouri and Louisiana filed a suit in May, and the first tranche of discovery returned evidence of collusion, including emails between the federal officials at the Center for Disease Control. We'll be talking about them very, very shortly. And the White House and officials at Facebook, parent company Meta, Google, and Twitter. Yes, open fucking collusion. That was right there. And you're going to take one of the most central figures, just simple word on it. I turned over everything. Trust me. Absent the release were any messages from Fauci and just a few involving officials at the agency he directs, the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases. It's not like Fauci doesn't have a history of hiding emails or just whenever somebody does a cursory amount of research into his communications with people both domestic and abroad. It's not like there isn't a very well documented history of those turning up adverse responses to what Fauci is saying. No, definitely not a track record of that. First, the requested information is obviously very relevant to plaintiff's claims. Dr. Fauci's communications would be relevant to plaintiff's allegations in reference to the alleged suppression of speech relating to the lab leak theory of COVID-19's origin and the alleged suppression of speech about the efficacy of masks and COVID-19 lockdowns. Terry Doherty, the Trump appointee overseeing the case, U.S. District Judge Terry Doherty. Judge ordered the government on September 6th to produce the requested Fauci records to plaintiffs within 21 days. So I guess he has until the 27th or 28th, whatever that shakes out to be, in order to turn all his shit over. I'd imagine Fauci will be going kicking and screaming, but he has not like he acts just like a child, but he is about child size anyway, so you can just pick him up and turn him over and shake out any loose documents that he keeps in his oversized suits. Any communications that are made in regard, as far as I'm concerned, are an open book and available, Fauci said during the Senate hearing. Be careful what you fucking wish for, because if you're anything like some of your co-workers over at the CDC, you got some explaining to do. CDC director admits agency gave false information on COVID-19 vaccine safety monitoring. Oh, so I don't even know where to begin on this one. Okay, so policy was made on false premises. Wonderful, fantastic. Was that same information used in order to guide the public discourse? Oh, okay, cool. So this was never about anybody's health, now was it? It was all about control. Huh, cool, but we were called conspiracy theorists for just putting that thought out into the public zeitgeist. Okay. The director of the Center for Disease Control and Prevention has acknowledged publicly for the first time that the agency gave false information about the COVID vaccine safety monitoring. Dr. Rochelle Walensky, the agency's director, said in a letter made public on September 12th that the CDC did not analyze certain types of adverse event reports at all. Wow, in 2021, despite the agency previously saying it started in February of 2021. That's just not a little lie. That's a categorical, catastrophic lie. Oh, it's safe and effective. Yeah, it's safe and effective if you don't look at the fucking reports. People are dying because of her. People have died. You probably know people who have been affected. I definitely know people who have been affected because she wouldn't tell the fucking truth. And she's allowed to continue to be a director at the CDC, collect a nice 6 or 7 figure fucking paycheck. I'm not Tim Ryan, so I can't call for violence. CDC performed PRR analysis between March 25th through July 31st, both of 2022. Walensky said CDC also recently addressed a previous statement made to the Epoch Times to clarify PRR were not run between February 26, 2021 to September 30th, 2021. Walensky's agency had promised in several documents starting in early 2021 to perform a type of analysis called proportional reporting ratio. That's what PRR is. On reports submitted to VAERS, the Vaccine Adverse Events Reporting System, which it helps manage. But the agency said in June that it did not perform PRRs. It also said that performing them was outside the agency's purview. Listen, we can perform that, but this is outside of our purview. So what the fuck is it? We're just not going to look at anything bad about that. It's safe and effective, and it'll literally make your dick grow. It'll put more zeros in your bank account, and hey, it's just wonderful and fantastic. You just need to re-up whenever we fucking tell you to, because it works. It works. It just works. She's the fucking Todd Howard of the CDC. It just works. Nobody's going to get that reference, but I'm okay with it. But just weeks later, the CDC said Sue. Oh, that is Dr. John Sue. A CDC official told the Epoch Times in July that the agency started performing PRRs in February of 2021 and continues to do so to this date. So he lied as well. CDC performed PRRs from March 25th through July 31st. A spokeswoman told Epoch Times in August. Yeah, we talked about this back at that time. Walensky's new letter, dated September 2nd and sent on September 6th to Senator Ron Johnson, shows that Walensky is aware that her agency gave false information. But she's fine with it. I wonder if she's just going to have an under-the-radar, I'll just go ahead and retire, just make sure that golden parachute is well fucking packed. Evil fucking people. Walensky's letter included no explanation of why that happened. The letter lacked any justification for why CDC performed PRRs during certain periods and not others. Johnson, the top Republican of the Senate Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs Subcommittee on Investigations, told Walensky in a response, "You also provided no explanation as to why Dr. Sue's assertion completely contradicts the CDC's initial response, as well as yours September 6, 2022 response to me." Don't hold your breath, Ron. Please don't, actually. You're one of the good senators that are out there. Don't do that. That'd be bad for everybody. He demanded answers from the CDC on the situation, including why the CDC did not perform PRRs until March, and why the agency misinformed the public when it said no PRRs were conducted. The CDC and Walensky did not respond to requests for comment. Yeah, of course, because they're fucking packing their boxes, bleaching their hard drives, and fucking setting anything that has anything incriminating on it on fucking fire right now. They think these fucking evil motherfuckers in control of the public discourse, in control of forcing you to do shit against your will, violating your Fourth Amendment right to medical privacy. And they just think, lol, we're just going to go ahead and retract all of the restrictions. You guys will just forgive us, right? I don't fucking think so. You took more from more people over the course of the past 2 years than anybody else has in human history. Your fear-mongering has caused more suffering and more pain than any dictators in previous eras ever had the ability to do. You don't get off scot-free from this shit. Spokesperson claimed that the false information was given because the CDC thought the Epoch Times and Children's Health Defense, which received the first response, were asking about a different type of analysis. Just going back and forth about things. And I think when we talked about this last time, they weren't doing any research, this is a different thing that you guys asked about. Oh yeah, were you doing that either? No. Why did you tell us you weren't? Shut your mouth. CDC still has not provided the results of the PRRs that were performed to the Epoch Times, and don't fucking think they will. It also did not provide them to Ron Johnson, because again, they aren't going to provide them to a media outlet, At least not one that'll put a nice little fucking spit shine on that in order to spin it out to the public. Do you think that they're going to provide it to somebody on a subcommittee that might be able to do something about it? If not now, give them a couple of months. The FDA administration, which has conducted empirical Bayesian, sorry, I'm off on that, data mining on vaccine adverse event reporting system reports recently refused to provide any of the results to the Epoch Times. Walensky alleged in a new letter that empirical Byzantine, I know that's terribly wrong, but I like the sound of that word. Anyways, data mining is more reliable, and that the PRR results were generally consistent with EB data mining, revealing no additional unexpected safety signals. Listen, we ran this different test, and it actually showed what we'd like it to show, but we didn't show that initial batch of results because it might look bad for us. And yeah, if you just go ahead and leave us alone, that'd be great. Okay, thanks. However, because of your failure to provide these analyses to Congress and to the American people, the public cannot verify your assertion. No, just trust us. We're the experts. Remember, believe the experts, trust the science. You don't even need to think about it, bro. Fuck all these people. If I was a wilder man and this was a different time, I would say drag him into the streets and hang him high, but I'm not that type of person anymore. Of course not. Nope. Wouldn't possibly even think about it. But then again, just like the CDC, you can't really verify any of that shit that I'm claiming now, can you? So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.